right, let's get ourselves up here on the. Okay. Hey, Mrs. Roberts, how you doing, girl? We about to start the content. I'm inviting Lucille up here. Yes, sis. Lucille's about to come up here. What the? So that we can what you mean no internet connection? Okay. You know what? Whatever. Yes, thank you, Mrs. Roberts. Where is Miss Lucille? Okay. Guys, give me a second because I have a co-host coming up on here with me on tonight. Hey Thomas. I'm trying to figure out how to get Lucille up here. Is she live? Let me know so I can invite her up here. Okay. Hello, y'all. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. For those of you who are regular watchers, yes, I have been gone for a couple of weeks. It was the holidays. I was home with my family. And a great time was had by all. But now it's time to get to work. I have been figuring out how I'm going to structure this show with the addition of TikTok. And I think I've gotten it. Today I have a co-host. I have a co-host coming on here. I'm just figuring out how to get her on here. Soon as she goes live. But for those of you who don't know who I am, I still got to introduce myself. My name is Natalie Pierre-Lewis. I am the host of this show. I am a business and trademark attorney. And what I do on my spare time is I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. Okay. I have been a business and trademark attorney for over 18 years. I love helping creatives and entrepreneurs, fulfill their dreams of, making their art, their livelihood. So what do I do as a business attorney? I help you do a lot of things. I help you establish your articles of incorporation. Thank you for all the hearts, y'all. Yes, we need to spread this out here. I help you get your articles of incorporation. I help you get your EIN numbers and DUNS numbers. I help you make sure that you have your trademarks and copyrights in order. I help you make sure you have contracts with clients and partners, making sure that you have your business bank accounts in order. I help you do all of that, okay? And more. Now, keep in mind, when my clients hire me, I charge $297 an hour, not $2.97, but $297. So I come on here and I give you that same information on here for the free, right? So I don't ask y'all for nothing but to share this out. I don't need no money from you. I don't need nothing. All I ask for you to do is to share this out. Okay. So we are going to start on our first story. Is Lucille in here? She's supposed to be coming up on here. She's waiting for me? Okay. Yes. All right. Yes, we're getting Lucille on here. Care. Yes. Hello, Lucille. It's our first co-live on TikTok. No, girl. I'm a lose. Okay. All right. So, guys, Lucille is very familiar with what I do on here. Basically, I take stories that y'all want to know, and stories that are interesting in the news, and I pull out the stories that we can learn as business owners. And one of the things, the reason why I wanted to co-host with Lucille tonight, because for those of you in the know, you know that she works in the gardening industry or adjacent to the gardening industry, and there are some adjacent. And there are some interesting things happening for those who are not just adjacent, but just, full foot, elbows, neck deep in, the gardening industry. Okay. So first things first, before I want to set some ground rules for the show. Okay. Now I want to make sure that everybody here is engaged. So we've already got 2,000 taps. And we've gotten multiple. How many shares? Oh, wow. We have a lot of shares. Okay. So y'all might actually have the stories covered, because what I need from y'all is either 10 shares or 1,000 taps for every story. So I already got 5. I already got 7 stories I got to do. I got a total of 13 on the docket. So it's up. Yeah. So you know, it's up to you guys as to how many stories we cover tonight. Because as long as y'all are tap, 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 tap it, I'm gonna be here. Okay. Okay, so here is the story that I really wanted to get on here and talk to Hotel Pennsylvania, Lucille Verde, Nicole, my bestie, my beautiful mermaid about. Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah, I think I'm really bad at that. Cheers. Okay. Okay, y'all. So, first of all, for those of you who are familiar with gardening, and we know what we talk about when we mean gardening, when you hear the term live resin, what do you think? When you hear the term live resin, thank you for the likes, thank you for the shares, thank you for the reposts, y'all. What do you think, Lucille?
When I hear the term live resin, I think about plant extract that has been taken from plants that are very recently harvested. So as opposed to, once you cure the plant up and everything, when we say live, we means that it's been extracted within, I want to say 24 or 48 hours after the plant has been chopped at the most.
Okay. And you guys, she is an expert in this, so we are going to take everything she says as gospel. All right. Now, for most of you, if you've heard that term, you've probably heard it in the gardening industry. Yes. Right. Has anybody heard that term outside of the gardening industry? Let me know in the comments. Give me some tabs, give me a thumbs up, something. Okay. So let me tell you what's happening right now. So there is a wellness company called Pure Black, okay? And they just announced that they are selling something called live resin, but it's not for extracts from our lovely plant. They have the live resin trademarks for different categories such as dietary supplements, skincare products, and chocolate and kombucha tea. So now they're not even touching the plant, what you call that, CBD, none of that. They're just like, hey, we out here to give you some vitamins, some kombucha, and maybe some face lotion. Okay. The CEO of and the marks have been accepted. So the USPTO said ain't nothing wrong with these trademarks, right?
So I'm wondering if they're using the term live resin as a method of extraction. So we've only, extracted the plant, our garden and plant that we love so much. But I wonder if, if you take the oils or the resin out of, say, oregano, because we know oregano is totally medicinal as well. If you do it within 24 to 48 hours of the plant being chopped, is it, maybe it's just live resin is we only know it one way, but is that really just the extraction method? I wonder.
Okay, so let me tell you what the CEO of the company said. He said that, wellness brands are into what's called adaptogens, peptides, and clean botanicals. So whenever you see a new skincare regime come out, they're like, oh, yeah, it's full of peptides. It's going to plump up your skin, all of that, right? So the CEO is saying that using the term live resin gives instant credibility and shelf presence. So he knows the power of the term live resin, right?
Absolutely. It's well respected in the cannabis industry as well.
And they're saying that they have a patent on an amino acid formulation, and that's supposed to help with health and functional cognition or functional nutrition, right? So while they're not touching the plant, they understand the power of this term live resin, right? Now here is the problem. There is a possibility that hemp prohibition is returning next year, November 13th, 2026. Okay. So a lot of cannabis companies, they're trying to figure out what we gonna do if we can't do at least, hemp. What are we gonna do? Because they're not going to be able to really fight the live resin trademark because at least not after November 13, 2026, if it goes through, because your business will no longer be legal, right? So here is also the problem for Pure Pure Black, the wellness company. Again, live resin, it's widely used in the cannabis industry as a descriptive term for extraction methods. Pure Black owns the trademarks, but enforcing them against cannabis users could be messy because these companies have been using the term generically for years. I remember there was a story I covered. This guy who made, tonics and, natural remedies. He tried to trademark the term fire water. Okay. But everybody who was in that all natural tonic space, they were like, we all use the term fire water. What are you trying to do? That is a generic term in our industry. You can't have it. So he had to drop it. And another thing, there was another story where an Asian dining company, I forget which cuisine uses the sweet chili sauce, but one of this Asian restaurant tried to trademark like crunchy chili sauce or something, and all the Asian restaurants were like, who do you think you are? You are not the only one out here using some crunchy chili sauce, right? So now, when you are at the beginning of an industry, right? Yes, when the terms come out, that's when you want to pounce. But when you are well entrenched into an industry, it's really hard to take something that is widely used and then trademark it. The example I use, my two favorite examples, Bling Bling by Cash Money. Baby did an interview and he said, had I known how big Bling Bling would have gotten, I would have trademarked that word. But he didn't, and it's generic. Another example, Who Gon' Check Me Boo from She by Sheree. She waited. She let everybody run that thing through the ground to the point that it got generic. And Sheree had to partner with Hanes to make her own T-shirts because she could no longer trademark it, right? Wow. So there is trademark. There could be the fact of trademark dilution because people might automatically assume that live resin is associated with the hemp industry, right?
Absolutely, they would.
Okay, and
anything about the hemp industry. So we got to remember, as big as the industry is, it's still very foreign to a lot of people. So they could get to people first, and then, those people are going to view hemp eventually as the copycat. So, I mean, I feel like they're in a separate market, but it's still too close for comfort when you view cannabis as a medicine. Right. If you're talking about healing herbs, that's literally what the plant already is. So that means to me, you're in the exact same market.
Okay. So do you think that pure Black wellness, they should try and go ahead with this trademark, or do you think they're treading on very dangerous territory?
I think if they don't want a whole army of potheads on their head, they better do something different. They better pivot because it's just, it's going to just be, like I said, a lot of people view this plant as a medicine. A lot of people are recreational, but there's still a huge portion of people that are using this plant very medicinally. So it would be kind of a situation like, not to compare it to, but kind of compare it to cooking with Kaya. So you're doing very, womanly things. You're, putting out product, or you could be associated with product that women support heavily, cookware and spices and oils and different things like that. But with your, advertising method, you kind of isolated your key demographic by, saying things like, I'll take your man, I'll do this, I'll do that. I feel like they could kind of do the same thing in really like turning off their target market, being as though, wellness and healing is something that go hand in hand with hemp. So if you've offended like the stoners, that might not go well for your brand.
And you may offend the non-stoners as well, because non-stoners, they may see live resin, and while they may not partake, they may associate live resin with and be like, no, thank you. Right?
Absolutely. I think it would be a lose-lose.
So, this is why you have to be really careful when you think about your trademarks. And, you want, when people think about your name, you only want them to associate it with you. You don't want there to be any confusion out there with other people. So, while I respect the technique, Pure Black, I don't know if this is. I always say you never want to build your business, you build your reputation on somebody else's back, whether on purpose or by accident, right? So I think that pure wellness, because as they're making nutritional supplements, right? But how many vendors have we seen who sell, infused gummies for pain and things like that? There is a real possibility of brand confusion out here.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with Pure Black. I don't necessarily force hmm. I can't say that I can't foresee someone trying to file suit, but if they're going to file a lawsuit against Pure Black, they're going to have to file it before this November 13, 2026 date. Because if everything goes as planned and hemp is prohibited again, they're going to have no standing because their business is going to be de facto illegal. So if you got a problem with Pure Black, trademark and live resin, you better contact your congressman.
And so, like, potentially, who would even be like in the running to do that? Would it be like a cookies company or a True Leave, or like who would?
It would have to be, first of all, it would have to be a hemp company because THC companies are not eligible, or like a processing company. Let's say there's a company that processes, right? And part of their name has live resin in it, or a product they have is called live. Well, no, because it's a generic term within the hemp industry, so they would come at it from that angle. They would say, look, this is a generic term within our industry, and even if you're not a person who gardens, you a lot of people know what that means when it comes to that term, live resin. So if they're going to come at it, they're probably going to come at it from a genericness standpoint, as opposed to this is ours. They're going to be like, it's everybody's. Everybody uses this term, right? Yes, yes.
We want to patent it, or we want to trademark it. We just don't want you to.
It's basically saying you can't, because everybody uses this phrase. There's no way that you're going to be able to differentiate yourself. Why can't I pin your comment, Olot? I'm sorry.
You can't pin comment?
I don't know.
I don't even think I can see the comments that are coming in on your side.
Why won't it let me I don't know why they won't let me pin your comment, Olot, but yes, we are talking about the phrase live resin. And yes, there is a thin line between greed and protection. But when it comes to intellectual property, you are supposed to really, you're supposed to zealously defend your brand. Okay. So if you even think somebody's, using your brand in the presence of donuts, what are you asking me, sir? I'm gonna block you. Sorry, somebody's being silly on YouTube. But what was I saying? Yes. So when you like there's a difference. There is a fine line between greed and protection, but you do have to zealously defend your brand. Now, there are brands that go overboard. One of the big companies that's guilty of this is Monster. Monster energy drinks. If you even dream of a logo that has an M in it, they are ready to sue you. Okay. Now that's too much, but if you okay, I'm blocking you because I don't know what you're trying to do over here, sir.
Yeah, that's just a distraction.
Hold up. How do I block you? Listen, people, I'm trying to teach here. Okay. If you can't be nice, don't comment. Yes. So if you don't want me to block you, stop being weird. Okay. So yes, so live resin, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with all of that. But let me let me know in your thoughts. Those of you who are watching, do you think that pure black wellness should be allowed to trademark the term live resin? What do y'all think? What do y'all think?
I'm gonna stand firm with no.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna stand firm with no, and I think they don't want them kind of problems.
I don't think so either, because it's just like the realms are too. They, at a certain point, they kind of overlap, because a lot of people do see the hemp plant as medicinal, as something promoting wellness.
As it is,
right?
Because they're seeing it correctly. Absolutely.
She said, "Let it be known, okay? This is medicine." All right.
Absolutely correctly. What's going on, Cheeky Child?
Yeah, but we will have to see what happens with this live resin trademark, and see if Pure Black Wellness goes through with it. Okay.
Literally the tea.
Huh?
I said literally the tea. Stay tuned for the tea.
Yes. So guys, do you have any questions about that before we move on to the next story? Lucia, you have been such a great co-host. Do you want to stay on for the rest of the stories? I know I like.
I'll stay on for another story. Depending on how many taps I get, that depends on how many stories.
Okay, listen, you got the people don't listen to me when I be telling them to tap. Maybe they'll listen to you. Okay. All right. So I got another story. How many of y'all still have a Twitter account or X? Okay. So do you remember when Elon Musk bought Twitter and then said, "I'm changing the name to X," and everybody was like, "You're stupid. Why would you do that?" Because there's so much brand recognition. Well, why you do that? If you still have if you kept your account when they switched from Twitter to X, please give me 10 taps. Give me 10 taps for every person who kept their X account. Give me 10 taps. Okay. Okay. I don't. Is she on the line? I don't see her. Oh, okay. Oh, for real? Okay. Hey, Chicken Charlie, I see you. Okay. All right. So as we know, 2022, Elon Musk, he bought Twitter for no reason. I don't know why he did that. But he basically said, I don't like the Twitter brand. I'm changing it over to X, even though like Twitter, why would that was such an easy dunk. Twitter has so much we still call it Twitter. Who calls it X? We still call them tweets. His mama named him Twitter. I'ma call him tweets. Okay. Right. So he was like, we're not using Twitter no more. We about to go to X. It's gonna be. He went and he posted that obnoxious giant X in the middle of New York, bothering people in the apartment complex across the street. He did that on purpose because he's a jerk, right? Anyway, so keep in mind, Twitter, tweets, all of that is trademarked, right? But trademarks don't last forever. You have 10 years. You have to renew every 10 years. And then there's also, Cheeky Chai said, nobody calls it X. You right. Oh, maybe I can't pin them because they're coming from your side. Yeah. Anyway, so.
I think she came over there and said that because I don't see that over here.
Cheeky Chai, I don't mean it's been 10 years since Elon Musk purchased.
It's been 10 years since they renewed the trademark.
Right. Right.
So wait a minute. I know this diabolical alien did not wait until the trademark lapsed, and now he's about to buy it back and call it Twitter.
No. Listen. Oh, okay. So it has. Listen. So they stopped using all of the things, right? So now, there is now the renewal time came up for them to renew the registration, right? So they did try to renew, but there is a startup in Virginia. Holla at the 757 Cheeky Chai. I don't know why they won't let me pin your comments, but I thank you for the support. Let me give you a cheers at least. But what was I saying? A Virginia-based startup called Operation Bluebird. Okay, Bluebird. Remember the logo. They filed a petition with the USPTO to cancel the current Twitter trademark so they could take it and make their own Twitter. As a matter of fact, they are planning on literally restarting Twitter and calling it Twitter.new. Okay. So this is their argument. What they're saying is X has eradicated the Twitter brand from everything: product, services, marketing, even though we as the public still call it Twitter. Thank you for the roses. X as a company does not acknowledge it. Moreover, the lawyer who is filing this used to be a lawyer for Twitter when it was Twitter. Okay. So he said, I know where the bodies are buried. Okay. We can get this trademark. So they are trying to get the trademarks for Twitter, for tweets. So what about Blue Sky? I don't know about Blue Sky. I know that was started by the people who like did, the back end coding for Twitter, but I don't know if that's like the executives. But right now they're trying to go for the trademarks of Twitter and tweets. Okay. And they have one of the former attorneys for Twitter/X. Okay. Because under trademark law, if you stop using a mark to make money and you have shown that you have no intention to use it anymore, you can lose your rights to it. So Lucille, you have your trademark, right? And you use it actively to make money. But let's say, when you're eventually bought out by some big hotel chain and, you're on the Riviera in your yacht and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this whole innkeeper thing. I'm just going to rest for a few years, right? And you decide, I'm not going to be making money off of Lucille. I already have too much money, please. And you don't use it for a while, right? If you stop using it to make money and somebody's like, wait, she's not using it no more, I could do something with that. And you let your trademark lapse, they could sweep it up. Or if you don't use it, they could go to the USPTO and say, hey, she hasn't used that in about 5 years. You want to run me that? They could do that. Yes, absolutely. So this is really going to be a test for Elon Musk because you were so adamant about changing the branding for Twitter, now X. So are you going to try and prevent another entity from picking up these trademarks? What do y'all think? What do you think? Do you think that Elon Musk is willing to put up all that money to defend a brand that he doesn't even use? Because he bought Twitter for like $44 billion. And it has just gone. I was gonna say, did he kind of sink it? Like, how much is it worth now? Who knows? Nothing to me. She gets shot. What?
So this other startup company, are they trying to turn it into a social media platform?
Yeah, they want the old Twitter back. Because
So you're talking about like what Solange was trying to do with Black Planet?
Yes. Because because what's his name? Elon, he fired all the people who run the organization. That particular app it's in tatters. It's in tatters. Like nothing really works. So basically everybody on this Bluebird team a lot of them are old people from Twitter, so they know how it works. They like, we want to bring the old Twitter back. We want that old thing back.
So since I'm not real familiar with Twitter or X, did Elon really change much besides the name and
the logo?
Besides
the aesthetics in terms of the type of news that you saw. You couldn't block certain things. You couldn't like there were a lot of things that you could use to kind of curate your Twitter experience that were no longer available after he took over.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
so
they
really, by bringing back the old Twitter, they could really be competition.
Right. And it's X, Twitter, whatever you call it now, it really leans right wing now. A lot of the users on there are,
I've heard that.
You know
what? If I were a normal, rational human, I probably would let it go. But if I was the weird alien that is Elon Musk, I would probably use my last dollar to make sure that the old comfortable Twitter that people are used to did not come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't bother with it, but I feel like he will.
Yeah, I just feel like for him it would be a point of pride. It's a point of pride. It's a point of just
because to be taken out by the very company that you didn't even want to associate with, like it yeah.
But
It would be a crazy turn in history.
It would be a crazy turn, but he's also going to have to prove, well, are you planning on using it? Because you haven't used it and you've pretty much eradicated it from everything. So if he cannot prove that he plans on using it to make money, what he doesn't really have a leg to stand on.
Right. So he would basically have to turn X back into Twitter in order to fight this.
Not necessarily turn it back into Twitter, but show that he's still using some type of Twitter services. I don't know, but I don't know what that means because nothing is he. Where do you see the Twitter logo anymore?
I have not seen it. The bird, the nothing, the color. I feel like that's a signature blue, almost like Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't even see the color.
Right.
That black and white X is like
it's so generic. It just falls into the background.
It looks like a porn site.
Don't get us banned out here on the TT, okay?
The bird just seemed so much friendlier, like he was coming around to deliver some cute news. It was a tweet.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, Natalie? Where would you put your money?
Okay. The thing is, I don't consider Elon Musk to be a rational person. So for me, first of all, if I had spent $44 billion on something like that, I wouldn't change the thing that made it worth $44 billion. But because this is a guy, he is very much like Toupee Fiasco up in the White House. He's very prideful. He doesn't like to lose. So he might just do it for the plot. Just to say that, I'm not gonna let them roll. Right. He looked like he shaped like a deep breath and can't even run a business properly. But anyway, yes. So yes. So we will have to see. I wouldn't be surprised if he fights it, but he would be fighting it just because he got money to blow.
Yeah.
Just because he got money to blow.
And just to shut these little people down and not allow anybody else to profit off of his mistake, which was dropping the Twitter everything.
Right. So for those of you out here who, if you are thinking about getting your trademarks and stuff, remember, you have to use it to make money. If you stop using it to make money, then somebody can come and steal it out from under you, or the USPTO could cancel it for non-use.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
So say for instance, so you know how all the sites have their verification process or whatever. I don't know what it is on Twitter. Is it like a blue check or something?
Yeah, they got a blue check thing.
Okay. So
Thank you, Dreezy.
What if he did nothing else but turn the blue check into a blue bird? Would that be enough to have secured it? Not at this point, if he had done that from the beginning. Like, yeah, it's called X, but when you're verified, you get a blue bird. You get the blue Twitter bird. Would that have made it part of his revenue and protected that as a trademark?
Possibly, but are you calling it the Twitter bird? Are you calling it the tweet bird? It's not just about the bird, it's about the words too.
That's what I was wondering, like how much of the company would he have had to retain visually or because to protect that trademark?
The company had a lot of trademarks. Twitter was trademarked, tweets was trademarked, the bird was trademarked, the color scheme was trademarked. So there are multiple trademarks at risk here. It's not just Twitter. It's Twitter tweets.
So did he buy them and not use them?
Yeah. He when he bought the company, he bought all the intellectual property and then said it's like you buy something and then you put it in your closet for safekeeping.
You
yeah.
So it's sitting in his closet with a tag.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So we will just, sir, you got so many many things to worry about visually. You got to worry about your kids not liking you. You got to worry about your baby mama not liking you. And you here worried about some Twitter. Anyway. Okay. So that was fun. Do we have any more questions, y'all, on that before we move on to our next story? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry for missing your comments, y'all. When me and Nicole get to talking, we just like. Because I'm always like the what if person. Like, well, yes. Okay. Yes. Listen, if I miss your comments and you want me to address your comments, please like put colorful emojis in the comments because that's how I'm gonna see it. Okay. Yeah. When I'm in some of my favorite coaches' rooms, just comments go so fast, I copy it and ask it again. Trust me, you are not being annoying. You are making yourself seen. Okay. Yep, and it's engagement. Okay. All right. So I'm talking about a story that I talked about while I was home over the holiday next, just because I think it's a fun story and something that everybody still needs to be aware of, because while trademark infringement is a lot out here, copyright infringement is a big thing, especially for my visual artists. Cheeky Chai, I know you are, a wonderful artist, so I think this story could really benefit you. Okay. So we all know Future, Future, he makes a bop. Okay. What's your favorite Future song? Percocet, Molly Percocet, Percocet. Anyway, so Married to the Game. I don't know that one. Is that one new? Child, I'm old, so I don't know anything new by Future. Anyway, so Future came out with a mixed Purple Rain. Oh, I love Purple Rain, but I don't know all the songs from there. Okay. So recently Future had put out a mixtape called Mixtape Pluto, right? And the cover art was an altered picture of the Dungeon family house. If you don't know what the Dungeon family house is, this is an iconic house in Atlanta where groups such as Outkast, TLC, and Goody Mob basically invented the hip hop game. Okay. Now, the picture that Future used, it was based on a photo taken by a photographer called Gary Gomez. Okay. Now, Gary Gomez, he took this picture way back. Actually, it wasn't that way back. He took a picture of this house in 2021. Okay. I thought, all right. So, fast forward 2024, mixtape Pluto drops. Future, he takes that picture. Gary. Yes, I thought it was a long time ago. For some reason, when I had read the story, I thought it was 2001. I don't know. Anyway. So Gary Gomez, he took this picture in 2021 of the house. Future was like, oh, this is dope. Let me add some, highlights to it. He made like some magenta alterations to it, and he used it as the cover for Mixtape Pluto. Here's the problem. He did not get Gary's permission. Okay. Listen, Gary's out here doing his thing, being a photographer. Next thing he knows, Future shows up with an album with his picture on the cover. So Gary said, and it wasn't just a picture of the cover. Future had the nerve to be selling merch with this image in his store. Okay. Oh, wow. Mixtape Pluto merch. So Gary files a lawsuit against Future for copyright infringement because even though the image was altered, the base image, the foundational image, that was a copyrighted piece of work. Gary Gomez copyrighted that picture in 2021, okay, with the copyright office, so that because especially for photographers, it's well known that people steal their photos all the time. So it is to their benefit to copyright all of their work so that if someone uses it, they can file suit. So that's exactly what Gary Gomez does. And he is suing Future for copyright infringement. Okay. Future. You should know better.
You should know.
Okay, you may not know how to take care of your kids. You may not know how to secure your bodily fluids, but I know you know music.
You know how to clear a freaking sample or copyright.
Right. So this is just a warning to you all who yes, you may have ideas of how to zhuzh up somebody's work, but you still need to get their permission because it's their work. His team should know better and cross these. Absolutely, his team should know better. I don't know why these people continue to let this man just run wild. Y'all let these artists run wild and get people to sue them. You know they're artists. Artists are not paying attention to these things. This is why they hire a team of people and attorneys to take care of things, because artists usually aren't the best at these things. So when these things happen, for the most part, I don't blame the artists. I blame the team around them because they're supposed to know better. Okay.
So what are just for the layman? Of course, I feel like Future should have known better. But just for the layman, like, what are some signs that a picture might be copywritten? Because people take pictures of stuff all the time, post it all over social media. We know that once you post it, it's out there, people can use it.
Very true.
What's the difference?
Okay, here's the difference. One, if you're trying to make money off of the photo, that's an issue, right? If you're just reposting it because you're like, ooh, this is pretty, that's fine. But if you're doing like Future and you're taking this photo and you're putting it on t-shirts and trying to sell it, that's a problem, right? So I don't know if you guys remember Grumpy Cat, right? There was this lady in Australia. If you didn't know, Grumpy Cat's face is protected by intellectual property trademarks. This lady in Australia, she designed a t-shirt, put Grumpy Cat's face on it. She sold one t-shirt, made $1 profit, and got sued for $100,000. Okay?
What?
Yep. Because the owner of the trademark, they were just finding anybody who was using the Grumpy Cat image without permission and just suing everybody. Just everybody. Right. So you guys really need to be careful. That one t-shirt, that painting could cost you thousands of dollars. Okay. So you need to be careful. All right. Okay. Ooh.
All right.
Let's see. Are we ready for another one, people? Dang, 11,000? I ain't never had this many likes. Hello. Okay. Okay. Next story we are talking about. Okay, so we are coming around to the Christmas season. You know, we're all going to be buying gifts on, for our loved ones. How many of y'all have people in your life who have expensive tastes? They're like luxury, they're like labels. Huh? Okay. Well, y'all need to be careful because it's holiday time and a lot of people, and some of you may be looking out for this, but there's a lot of fake merch that's going to be coming up because of the holiday season. And as a matter of fact, Customs and Border Protection just seized $425,000 worth of fake designer goods. What does that mean? That means that reset my gift goal. What does that mean? I ain't got no gifts. Ain't nobody gave me nothing. I think all the gifts are coming on your side. Those are your people.
And they're saying reset? They're telling you to reset too? Did you set a gift goal?
I had one, but okay, so add now. Okay.
I just asked for some cake slices. Yum, cake.
I just want a finger heart. Okay. I don't know. That's what it said. Hold on. That's what it is. Help. Okay. Anyway. So what they mean by $425,000 of fake designer goods, what they're saying that is if these were actual genuine luxury items, thank you. If these were genuine luxury items, they would have been worth they would have been worth $425,000, right? So think about now. Some of us, we prefer, some of us may prefer the okay, pin. Some of us may prefer the fake ones, right? What? Huh? Some people, not necessarily buy for other people, but I know some people, they like to mix their genuine luxury items with, some knockoffs. Thanks, Chai. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm one of the people where I will happily buy a knockoff, okay? Because you ain't getting thousands of dollars from these pockets. Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, listen, if Chanel wants to gift me a bag, hey, I will carry that, all right? Thank you, Cheeky Chai, for the cakes. Right? So some of us may prefer the knockoffs, but for those of us out here, the knockoff price. Okay, some of us may prefer the knockoff price, but some people may actually think that they're getting a deal, right? What if some I don't think anybody's gonna try and sell it for the full price, but what if we've got all these people on Marketplace, right? What if somebody's on Facebook Marketplace and they're like, ooh, genuine pre-loved Louis Vuitton, blah blah blah, and you paying all this money for what you think is a pre-owned luxury item, and come to find out they got it off the back of a truck on Canal Street. Right? So for those of you who like luxury items, or you are going to be shopping for luxury items for other people, you want to make sure, look, like, part of the reason why these luxury items are so expensive is because you can only get them from limited places, right? You're not finding no Chanel at a Chanel bag at Macy's. You're not finding a Birkin bag at Target, Ross. So, right. So it's it's like part of the luxury aspect of it is where you can get it. You can't get it everywhere. The Birkin bag, you can't even just buy it. It's like you got to get on a waiting list and you got to like fight to get one, right? So in this season where everybody may be trying to, I'm about to be real nice to myself this Christmas. I'm getting me this luxury bag or these luxury shoes. Be careful that you're not getting got, okay? So, just a word to the wise. All right. No, they're just letting you know that they're coming in. They're expecting to get more shipments, and because Customs and Border Protection, they're looking for this all day. As an individual, we as regular people, if we are out somewhere, we are allowed to import one knockoff item. So if I go to Asia and I find me a nice little bag, it might be Funel and not Chanel, but it says Chanel on it. I can bring that one bag back with me, right? But if I'm trying to buy 30 Funel bags that say Chanel on them, they're going to be like, ma'am, you're trying to resell these and that's illegal. So they're going to take all but maybe one. Okay. So just a word to the wise, when you're out in the world, if you're planning on purchasing, knockoff luxury goods from the real good spots over there, make sure you only get one or two of each item, put them in some separate bags, because if they see you with a bunch of them, they're going to think you're trying to bring them back so you can do business in the United States. Okay?
Yes. But you know what I've heard though?
What?
And I don't fact check things the way that you do, but I've heard that a lot of times these big designer brands will have, fabric and stuff left over from a run, and they actually will knock themselves off because even, somebody walking around with a $200 bag versus a $2,000 bag is advertising for them.
Listen, I see them all over on TT. Okay, they putting their WhatsApp number on there. You want this bag? You want that bag? They showing you all the things with the gloves and like, get your life, girl. Get your life, girls. Do your thing. I'm gonna take my little Nancy bag from Ross. Okay. All right.
Every bag I've gotten from Ross, or maybe.
Listen, do not sleep on Ross. Okay. I remember when I first moved here, and my friend introduced me to Ross, and every time I went home, my mom would be like, "Oh, that's nice. Where you got it?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I got it from Ross." And she's like, "You always shopping at Ross." I'm like, "That's all you shopping?" I was like, "Yes, because they have everything."
I can get candles, markers, like
gym equipment, winter coat, makeup, soap.
Everything, literally everything.
Yes.
On Tuesday with the senior discount.
That's right. Well, I'm not eligible for the senior discount. Yeah.
They don't make you prove it.
Really?
They do not.
Ooh.
They cannot. It's illegal.
So what you got to do? Say I want the senior discount.
Say I'm here for the senior discount. They know black don't crack, honey. They scared to say something.
I got a few. I got a few grays up here.
Go when you need a little color touch.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I got my old lady hairstyle, so I'm in there.
Oh my God. Okay, next story we are talking about. How many of y'all like deli sandwiches? What's your favorite type of sandwich to get from the deli?
Oh man, I like a classic like Italian. I like the salami, the pastrami, you know what? But my favorite though is a Reuben. Okay. My favorite is a Reuben.
Reuben. What's a Reuben?
A Reuben is hot corned beef.
Uh-huh.
And like I think it's provolone cheese, and then it's what's that old school dressing that's like the same dressing that's on like a Big Mac.
Thousand Island dressing?
Yes. And it's like a pumpernickel rye, like a marble rye bread.
Okay.
Man, okay. I love me a Reuben. Oh, and sauerkraut, I think.
You lost me at sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut.
Okay.
I haven't had one in a while, but it's my favorite.
Well, when's the last time you ordered breakfast on DoorDash or Uber Eats?
Oh man. You know what? Thomas and I had some pancakes from IHOP delivered not too long ago, and it was ironic that the day we ordered breakfast to be delivered, there was a parade down our street. And we had to meet the Uber Eats driver down at the main road because they couldn't get to our street.
Oh, okay.
So, whatever day that was.
Okay. When you
to that, it had been years.
When you purchased breakfast the last time, did you see a breakfast restaurant on there called Call Your Mother?
I did not.
Okay. Well, this involves that that Jewish deli. It was founded here. I'm going to give you the backdrop. So 2018, Call Your Mother is founded by Andrew, Dina, and Daniela Morera in DC, serving up bagels and, sandwiches. Then, that's 2018. In 2023 in New Jersey, a restaurant, a Jewish deli opens up, and it's called Call Your Booby. Booby is the Jewish term for grandmother, right? So, now fast forward 2025, Call Your Mother in DC. They got an investment from some company, and they wanted to start expanding their Jewish deli empire. So they found out about Call Your Booby in New Jersey. Call Your Booby. And they were like, hey, we're about to be, blowing up real big. Call Your Mother's about to be out here. So you're going to have to change your name from Call You Booby. Okay. And so, and they sent them a cease and desist. Call Your Booby paid them dust, was like, and just went about their business. So Call Your Mother, they filed a lawsuit in New Jersey for trademark violation, right?
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, Call Your Mother, they have 18 locations across DC, Colorado, and planning to expand to Florida. So they do have their trademark for Call Your Mother, right? And they're telling Call Your Booby, look, we know you got this little shop out in New Jersey, but we going worldwide, baby. You got to change that.
You gotta change it.
And Call Your Booby's like, make me. Ooh, excuse me. So Call Your Mother, they are filing suit against Call Your Booby because they're saying, look, Mother and Booby, they both represent a caring, nurturing Jewish matriarch because they're both Jewish delis. On top of that, both of their logos look like bagels. So both of their logos are round bagels, and have semicircular logos, you know. And how many times have y'all gotten orders mixed up from your DoorDash or Uber driver when you order at like 11, 12 o'clock at night?
Absolutely have gotten stuff mixed
Right.
up.
So imagine an Uber driver, they got to pick up from Call Your Mother or Call Your Booby, and you know there could be confusion in that, right? Right. Or you're trying to order from Call Your Mother and you're calling Call Your Booby, or Call Your Booby and Call Your Mother. Chicky Chai asked how long Call Your Booby has been around. Call Your Booby has been around since 2023, but they only have a location in New Jersey. Call Your Mother started in DC, and they currently have locations in DC and Colorado, and they're spreading to Florida. Okay.
So they're not in Jersey yet.
No. Yeah. Oh,
This is a tricky one.
yes. So while it's only in New Jersey, there are expansion concerns. Yes, call Your Mother, they're not in Jersey yet, but who's to say they're not going to come there as they expand, right? So it's very important to them that they secure that trademark real estate. Okay. Now, on the other side, Call Your Booby, when somebody sends you a cease and desist, you cannot just ignore them. And also, if they file a lawsuit against you, you cannot just ignore them. And that is exactly what Call Your Booby is doing. So they are in danger. They are in danger of having a default judgment against them. Okay. So what that means is if you get a default judgment against you because you didn't respond to the court, that means the other person automatically wins. You lose. You got to pay your stuff. And Cheeky Chai said that's not fair at all. What's not fair?
So first of all, Call Your Mother is older, and they possess the trademark.
Right.
If Call Your Booby was older, then I would be like, come on, like y'all saw them people twisted the words around, and now you're trying to put a little mom and pop place out of business to go global. But since Call Your Mother was first, and they got the trademark, and they're the ones expanding, I think that they have the right. Even though it's going to seem kind of messed up, I think they have the right to cease and desist Call Your Booby.
Cheeky Chai, Call Your Mother is not in Jersey. Call Your Mother is only in DC, Colorado, and they're moving to Florida. Jersey is the booby. But the thing is, Call Your Mother has plans for expansion. They've gotten a big injection of cash, of investment from, a larger company that has a lot of money. Yeah, they're planning on it, but they also opened their place first. Call Your Mother has been here since 2018. Call Your Booby started in 2023. Call Your Booby. Call Your Booby.
Regardless, just for the damn Call Your Booby. I don't want to call your booby burger. I don't want to call your booby sandwich. I don't want to.
It's Booby. Bubbi.
Cheeky
Chai, it's not about just Jersey. A trademark is national, right? So if I have a national trademark and somebody has a state trademark, mine is going to trump yours automatically because my federal trademark covers all 50 states. It doesn't matter.
Do they even have a trademark on Call Your Booby?
No, it doesn't. It's Cheeky Chai, a trademark by definition is national. You have to file it with the United States Patent and Trademark office. It's not just a state thing. So when you file a trademark, what you are telling the US government is that in the 50 states of this country, I have dominion over this name in this area of industry. Yes, they trademarked it since 2018. Okay. Cheeky Chai, I'm sure they did not. Okay. I think that had they done that, they would have responded to the cease and desist and the lawsuit saying we have a trademark already. And they're just ignoring it. You can't just do that. You can't. Okay. Cheeky Chai is trying to go hard for Call Your Booby. Okay. Okay.
I feel bad for the boobies, but they're gone. They're second. They came in second. They're not going national. They don't have the trademark, and they're being dismissive. Like they're almost begging for it.
Right. So good luck to them. We'll see who wins in the end. All right. Let's see what do we have next. Okay. Do you want to hear about tires that smell like roses or what?
Or I think I'm gonna go with these tires that smell like roses, but what's the other option?
The other option is hold on. Let me look this up. Oh, or a story about Eminem suing yet another brand.
What's the other brand before I make up?
He's trying to sue a swim brand in Australia that goes by the name Swim Shady.
Don't give me them tires that smell like roses.
Okay. All right. So you all know. If you didn't know, in the United States, it is legal for you to trademark a smell. Some companies that have successfully done that are Crayola. When you think of a Crayola crayon, you immediately know that smell, right?
Absolutely. Cinnabon,
Play-Doh, all of those, right? All of those smells, they are trademarked, right? But United States was one of the few companies that allowed that. Recently, another country just started allowing smell trademarks, the country of India. So Sumitomo Tires, they are a Japanese tire company. And if you are a fan of the Hot Boys, I know you have heard at least one song where they talk about Sumitomo Tires and they got to be run flat. But that company, right, in India, because think about tires when they burn the road. It's a bad smell, right? Tires do not smell good. So to differentiate their tires and to make it more pleasant for their patrons, Sumitomo Tires has added a rose scented something to their formula for their tires, right?
Wow.
So they submitted that in India. They're like, hey, we want to trademark this smell for our tires. The problem was India says that any trademark that you filed must be drawn. They need a diagram. How do you diagram a smell? So what they had to do was they had to hire scientists who came up, who developed the what do you call that? The chemical
makeup,
the chemical makeup of the smells and proving that it was unique and that it wasn't functional to the tire. So they managed to make something that was intangible tangible, and now they have opened the door in India for there to be more smell trademarks, which is really cool because
that is cool.
Right. Because not only can you have drawn trademarks, you can have smells, you can trademark sounds. There's also 3D trademarks that are coming up now. And by 3D trademarks, I mean the way that a product is shaped can be protected by a trademark. Think about the Coke bottle. Trying to think what else. Right? So as we progress, as we become, a more technological society, we're going to find different ways that people are going to find to brand themselves. All right. So
That's exciting.
Go India. Go India.
So you talking about when somebody slams on brakes. So all the car accidents in India is gonna smell like roses. That's what you said.
I mean, I guess hot rubber and roses. I don't know.
I mean, what was the? I understand, the opening the door and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you had the power to add roses to anything,
Mm-hmm.
why tires?
Because they probably did it because they're like, look, first of all, if you buy a Sumitomo tires, you're not driving a Honda Civic, okay? You're probably driving a luxury car. You want something nice. They're like, okay, so this is a luxury type of person. They want something that smells good. So they want to differentiate their high quality tires.
What I see is a bunch of young, wealthy, hot-headed 20-somethings, early 30-somethings racing up to lights, slamming on brakes so that everybody can smell their tires. It's going to end up being a hazard. Well,
over there, not here.
Drag racing, donuts.
Oh, it's all over there in India. I haven't heard nothing about no rose scented tires in the United States of America. We got our own problems. Oh God, he probably has a set on each one of his cars at his house. Okay. Yes, thank you, Rachel's Truth Bomb. Y'all, I have sat in on Rachel's Truth Bomb. I don't know why they won't let me pin you, but I have sat in on some of her lives. She is really dope. Y'all follow her, Rachel's Truth Bombs. This will not let me pin you. Is it because we're co-hosting?
Maybe.
Okay. But y'all catch up with Rachel. She's out here doing the TikTok live host thing. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for, make sure you share this out to your people. I'm trying to get this information out here. By the way, guys, just in case you don't know what you're watching, I am teaching business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news with one of my favorite people in the whole world, Lucille Verde from Hotel Pennsylvania. Make sure that you are following her. She is a quirky innkeeper of the first all-inclusive bed and breakfast on the East Coast. Okay. Thanks, Saul. Thank you, Rachel. Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.
NPL consultant for numerous things, from our trademarks to copyrights, and pretty soon a real life patent. So you think rose scented tires is something? Wait till you see what I'm cooking up in 2026.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Okay. All right. So let's move on to our next story. I had told y'all that it was the other option was Eminem. So Eminem, yes. Look, I don't know if Eminem, he's mad because he's not in the zeitgeist anymore and he's just trying to keep himself relevant. But every time I hear about him these days, he's trying to sue somebody. He tried to sue them two ladies from Housewives of Potomac because of their podcast, Reasonably Shady. Yeah. Now he's trying to sue an Australian swimwear company that calls themselves Swim Shady. Okay, so here's the thing. So maybe, well, all right. Let's hear these things and you let me know. Okay, so he's saying that Swim Shady is too close to Slim Shady, right? And what they're saying, he's saying that there could be confusion because this swim company, they sell umbrellas, swim bags, towels, and shorts. These are some options that Eminem could sell, but Eminem also has trademarks in Australia for Shady and Shady Limited, right? He did not have a trademark for Slim Shady until he filed in January of this year. So prior to January of this year, he did have trademarks in Australia for Shady and Shady Limited, but not for Slim Shady. So what he's saying is this swim company that sells bathing suits and umbrellas and swim bags and things like that, calling themselves Swim Shady, could cause confusion and make people think that they are affiliated or that it's his brand, right? On the other hand, Swim Shady, the brand, they're saying, look, remember earlier when we talked about Elon Musk and not using the Twitter trademarks? Well, the Australian company, they are fighting back and they're saying, look, he might have these trademarks, but he ain't been using them. Okay. Lock who up, Cheeky Chai. They're saying that he hasn't been using them. And they're saying that they're a grassroots Australian company, and that they're gonna fight it because Eminem is not even using the shady trademarks. And again, if you don't use your trademarks to make money after a certain amount of time, people can come after you for non-use, right? Now, you might say that he doesn't have a chance, but Eminem has been successful in the past because he was able to get a judgment in New Zealand because the New Zealand National Party, the political party, used a couple of lines or notes or whatever from his song "Lose Yourself" in a 2014 campaign ad. Now that's not the same as the shady trademark, but he at least has one win under his belt. And if we are to look at it reasonably, when I hear Swim Shady, I am gonna kind of make Swim Shady, right?
If he's never done, I mean, I think the same rule should apply as far as if you've had the Slim Shady trademark all this time. First of all, you didn't have it in Australia, but even the US one, if you've never sold swimwear, if you've never sold umbrellas yet, if you've never done any of these things, then I don't think you should be able to impede upon someone who wants to do that.
Well, he had it in
Australia. If he had that kind of merch, or does he?
Well, he had the trademarks in Australia. The Swim Shady is in.
No, I'm saying, has there ever been a Slim Shady umbrella or a Slim Shady pair of swimwear or anything?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know if he sold those particular items in the past. Do we have any Eminem fans in the audience who can tell us?
Yeah, because I mean, once you have merch, you can literally
right.
I don't know. I think this one's kind of 50-50. It depends on who the judge is and how they feel about Marshall Mathers, because this one could really go either way.
Okay.
Because Swim Shady, if I heard Swim Shady, I would automatically think, oh, Eminem's putting out some summer wear.
Ooh. Somebody needs to clip this and send it to Eminem for his lawsuit.
I would definitely think that. I feel like he should have been dead. He dropped the ball on the Swim Shady.
Cheeky Chai said they're guilty.
Someone else can pick it up.
Chai said they're guilty.
They're guilty? Yeah, I would go with that.
All right.
Give that man his box and brief swim.
Okay. So good luck to everybody in there. Moving on. Yes.
Is the Swim Shady wear, is it slim? I mean, is it Speedo-like?
Well, no, I don't think they sell swimsuits. I think they sell swim accessories.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. I was just wondering if it was actually like slim, if it was.
I know what you're trying to say. No, it's not actually slim.
Like Speedos and stuff.
No, they selling things to cover you, basically things to protect you from the sun. Swim Shady. Shade.
Swim Shady.
Yes.
So okay.
Because it be hot in Australia.
I guess.
Okay.
They'll never see me.
Girl, the bugs. I heard the food is bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's like remixed British food. I don't know. All right. Next story we're talking about. Besides ChatGPT, what other AI models have you heard of?
I'm not the person. I'm really not AI savvy, to be honest.
Okay. Anybody watching? Those of you who have
I just got into ChatGPT.
Okay. Gemini. Cheeky Chai said Gemini. Okay. Any others? Has anybody watching heard of Perplexity? If you haven't, Perplexity is one of the more robust AIs out there. They really like give you good information. I think their AI is called Claude. Uh, and Perplexity, they, like most AI models, they have been coming under a lot of fire for how they train their models and the type of information they use, right? We had the lawsuit where the authors were saying, you're using our books. Well, Perplexity is now being sued by not one, not two, but three different newspapers. The New York Times, the Chicago Tribune, and actually this is a newspaper, but Encyclopedia Britannica.
What? They still around?
And the Dow Jones New York Post, they are all suing Perplexity for copyright infringement. Now, all of these entities, New York Times, Chicago Tribune, New York Post, they are all behind a paywall, right? But I don't know how the Perplexity thing does it, but it is able to get past that paywall and get the information. So they have been scraping information from these news outlets, and the news outlets are suing Perplexity for copyright infringement. And it's just not a fact that, this news is behind a paywall, so, maybe go find a free one. But entities like the New York Times, they license their news to Amazon for Alexa. So somebody else is already paying them. Chai said it's easy to get past the paywall. Chai said, Amazon pays them for exclusive use of their news, and for Perplexity to be able to get behind that paywall and give it to anybody who wants that news, that's eating into their money, right? So it's the same thing with Chicago Tribune and, these New York Posts. These companies that put their information behind a paywall, because of how Toby, I'm working. Toby, because of how these because of how these AI models work, the paywalls, it's just like climbing a fence, if you know how to climb a fence. So I don't either. But and it's costing them money, because the average person, because first of all, for me, I'm not paying for no newspaper subscription. Okay. Not in 2025. As I can go to 4 different outlets to find the same story. So of course, these newspaper outlets, they're losing subscribers. And then for the ones who they still have, they're probably like, well, if I can just go to ChatGPT or Perplexity so I can get this news and I don't have to pay you this, $52 a year, well, I should just do that. So it is eating into their bottom line. So these news outlets, especially those that are licensing out their news to other outlets, they want their money and they want Perplexity to stop, right?
So is Perplexity going to get in the news before they release it to Amazon?
No. Perplexity, they're whatever is published on the New York Times, right? If you, unless you are a subscriber or you have your Alexa, you're not going to get that news from New York Times. You may get it from another outlet, but you're not going to get it from New York Times. Perplexity will literally get the news from New York Times and then cite it as the source. But you don't. Yes, they tell you where they got it, right? So Perplexity, these outlets, they're like, run us our money, okay? You coming in here robbing my house, you taking my stuff, right? Listen, I put locks on the door, you broke the locks. I put bars on the windows, you got in through the window anyway. Right? So they want their things. But AI, it's just getting, we can't put it back in the box. we have to figure out how we're going to manage it. And there is a company out here that is trying to help with video content generation. Okay. So there is a company called Versos. All right. Okay. They are based in Canada, and they basically, I don't know if you guys remember the stories that I've talked about. Midjourney has been sued by a lot of movie houses because a lot of their content that they produce is basically copyright infringed characters, right? So these guys are like, look, we have an idea to get past this copyright craziness when it comes to video content, right? So they have a startup where they say their platform is the first place where you can buy and sell rights cleared video footage specifically for AI training. So instead of you taking, that copyrighted movie like Monsters Inc. and putting those images in the AI model, you can get the video content from this website where the video content is cleared already. So you don't have to worry about licensing issues, and you can use that to create your video content through AI, which is really cool. Okay.
Very cool.
Because again, like we just got through this story about Perplexity scraping these news stories, right? But if there was something like Versos for news where you could get copyright cleared news for your AI model, that would make things a lot easier. Now again, AI is not going anywhere. It's here. We have to learn how to use it, but we also have to figure out how to regulate it and use it in a way that is fair and equitable to creators out here.
Absolutely.
Right? So, for those of you who are into AI video generation, I encourage you to check out the company Versos AI, Versos AI, okay? Because they are going to be able to get you copyright cleared videos that you can use to create your AI generated content. All right. All right.
I'm gonna need more information on that because I'm trying to animate my web series.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was thinking about actors and casting and directing and all that, and I said, you know what?
You could just do voice. You could just do voice acting and then do the animation.
And do the animation, yes. Because I would like to have real people and real personalities, but
right.
Absolutely, I want to do the animation.
Okay. Let me see. What am I? Okay. We got a story about Campbell's soup. We got a story about. Ooh, no, I want to talk about this. Okay. Actually, this is good for you.
I don't want to talk about Campbell's soup.
Oh yeah, they racist.
Oh, Campbell.
Yeah.
I thought you said camel soup.
Camel soup.
That's what I heard.
Ain't never heard of camel soup in my life.
When did a camel get racist?
Yes. So this is actually good because a lot of you out here, a lot of my audience, including you, Lucille, a lot of you have children who are creative and who, you could be making money off their stuff, y'all. But I want y'all to know that the Copyright Office of the United States, they have just released a free resource to teach your children how to file their own copyrights. They literally have a lesson on there. They give them these worksheets to teach them how to file their copyright. So if your child makes a piece of art or makes a song or choreographs a dance or writes a book or a poem, they know how to copyright their own stuff.
Or photographs the dungeon
house. Yes, right? So, and this is a game changer because usually we think about intellectual property, we only think about it for grown-ups. But how many kids do we see out here making bank on the YouTubes, doing whatever? Listen, I need to get me some kids I can claim on my taxes. Any of y'all got some? They're right.
These kids could literally be set up for life off of residuals from something they did. Charlie Bit My Finger, one of the first viral YouTube videos. Come on, Natalie. Charlie bit me. Remember? Okay, anywho, Charlie Bit Me is the number one. It's first, they accredited it to be in the first viral video. Those two boys were like 2 and maybe 2 months in that video. That video put both of them through college.
Really?
Like those children are grown and they are still eating off of Charlie Bit Me. Yes. You
Wow.
You gotta look it up. It's one of the originals.
Okay. Well, you know, if y'all think you got the next Charlie Bit Me in your household, go to the U.S. Copyright Office website and get these worksheets. Look, just because they say for kids, that does not mean that you can't use it. Listen, even if I did not know anything about copyrights, because I like how people break things down for kids, if I wanted to learn how to copyright, I would take these worksheets for myself. Exactly. So yes. Get it, Terry. Let them know. But yeah, so guys, if you are interested, if you want to learn how to file your own copyrights, because a copyright by itself is only $65, it's not a lot of money to protect your work. Go to the U.S. Copyright, get those kids' worksheets, and get your life. Okay.
And a trademark, when is one appropriate and not the other?
Okay, so a copyright, you use that when you create something. So if you are an artist, if you paint, if you make a sculpture, if you are a choreographer, if you do a whole routine and you record it in front of and at a performance, if you write a song, if you write a book, if you other things that can be copyrighted, blueprints, the designs for boat hulls. There are works that you create in your mind that has been expressed. So if you have an idea for a book about a woman falling in love with a fish, if it's in your head, it's not able to be copyrighted. But if you've written the story out in the book, that can be copyrighted. And that's what you can't copyright what's in between here. You need something that's in here or on your computer, right? Because I can't see what's in your brain. I can see what's on that canvas. I can see what's in that book. I can hear that song. I can see that choreography, right? So when do we cross over into trademarks? Trademarks are when you want your logo or the name to be associated with your products. So when we see the Apple logo, we know we're getting tech products. When we see the Tiffany logo, we know we're getting jewelry. When we see the Starbucks logo, we know we're getting coffee. So your trademark, those logos, the name, it identifies your industry and what you sell. People know exactly what your business is from your trademark. Okay? So trademarks are to make money. Those are for making money. Copyrights are for art and money. Cool. All right. Yeah. You do. Listen, I told y'all she is she's a Renaissance woman. Okay, between her and Thomas, they could raise a nation. But yeah. So if y'all want these copyright worksheets, some of the things that they have, they said the sheets are packed with coloring activities, mazes, spot the difference games, and it prompts for kids to create their own stories. And after you finish the activities, you have this moment where you realize you're both a copyright user and an owner. So these are available for free, $0 on the U.S. Copyright Office's website. Okay? What the hell? I don't know why people think they could call me while I'm working. But yes. So yeah, so if you want to learn how to copyright for the free, go to the U.S. Copyright Office, y'all, because otherwise you're gonna have to pay me a couple $100. Yes. I think I got enough battery for one more story. Let's make it a juicy one. Okay. All right. Okay. A juicy one. Let's see. Flacos. You want to hear about Flacos Tacos, or do you want to hear about a supermodel's what do you call it? Flacos Tacos. Okay.
Over a supermodel's anything.
Okay. So the title of this story says Chicago restaurant destroys California food truck's dreams with one letter. Yes. So here's the thing. So there's a Chicago restaurant. They got they call Flacos Tacos. They got the trademark in 2022. Okay. Or no, in 2009. 2009. So way back. Flacos Tacos Chicago. They've been here since 2009. Fast forward 2022. This guy named Raphael in California, he's like, hey, I make some good tacos, and he starts a food truck, and he starts calling it Flacos Tacos.
Why Raphael? When it's just as easy could have been Raphael's tacos.
He said it's because they were brainstorming, and his son was roasting him for being skinny, because Flaco means skinny in Spanish.
Okay.
All right.
I don't want no skinny taco.
But you didn't know it was skinny.
I didn't, but now that I know, I don't. I just assumed Flacco was the first guy's name.
No. Flacco means it. Like, there used to be this show on Saturday morning, because we didn't have cable, so sometimes I'd be watching what's it, the Spanish channel, Univision. Yes. And they had a morning show called Gordo y Flaco. Fat and Skinny. It was a gossip show. Yes. So okay, so Raphael out in California, he starts his food truck. He's like, Flacos Tacos, let's go. Meanwhile, Chicago restaurant, they're like, hold up, Raphael, hold up. They send a cease and desist, and they're like, sweetie, this not what you think it is, okay? So Raphael, basically, he has to rebrand his food truck, and he's bringing in social media to help people, to have people help him do that. But it's really important when you're filing your trademarks that you do your due diligence to make sure you're not infringing on someone else's name. You can literally go to the USPTO website and search to make sure that a name is not taken for your industry. Maybe one of these days when I come on live, I will walk you guys through that, how you can look it up. It's getting late right now, and your girl is fading fast, so not tonight. Thank you.
How many times have I texted you, like, look this up, see if anybody's using this?
Right. And it literally just takes 2 seconds, y'all. It's not that big a deal. So, what the hell? Oh, and yes. So just when you are finally at the point where you're like, yes, I think this is the brand, this is what I want, you want to make sure that you go to the USPTO and search their records, because they have all of the registered United States trademarks in there. Now, if you try to do something international, I can't help you, but somebody over there can.
And the USPTO will let you file a double trademark.
They will. Right? They're gonna take your money and they won't give it back.
And see, and that's crazy, because it seems like the first person that types it in should be like,
nope.
You didn't even cash your check.
Nope. I remember what's his name? What's that man's name? LeBron James. He was trying to trademark Taco Tuesday for a podcast. He didn't even bother to check the thing. I don't know what his lawyers were doing, and he immediately got refused because somebody else already had it trademarked. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So just word to the wise. You want to make sure that you are doing your due diligence to make sure that what you want to trademark isn't already taken. All right, guys? Yes, because first of all, if you file it by yourself, that's costing you minimum $350. If you hire an attorney like me, that means you dropping like $1,300, and I ain't giving it back. Right. I would do the due diligence to make sure that it wasn't already trademarked, because that's what you're supposed to do. Right. Yes. All right. Okay. So Nicole, Lucille, my beautiful mermaid, thank you so much for co-hosting with me tonight. This was so much fun. Yes. Guys, I want to thank you all for watching and putting up with my shenanigans. I will be trying to do more lives, but I will definitely, this is like my main broadcasting day and time, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Now for yeah. For TT, I will be doing my pre-show fet, where we're gonna do a little bit of dancing. Yes, get ourselves together. But if you just want to get to the main show with me, Tuesdays at 7 p.m., that's where I'll be. Okay. Make sure you're following Lucille Verde, Hotel Pennsylvania. Make sure that you're setting your notifications for when the both of us go live. And if you're in the DMV area, Hotel Pennsylvania is having a Christmas party. And if you want to attend, hit her up. Okay. Listen, it's gonna be a holly jolly good time, y'all. Okay. I'm bringing out some new menu items. I'm practicing them tomorrow on live, so check it out. All right. All right. Good night, everybody. Sleep well. Bye. And ooh. All right. Good night, y'all.